Google buys Motorola for $12.5 billion. HP announces they're getting out of the hardware business. And HTC and Samsung have some severe leaking problems. All that and more coming up on your weekend wrap-up. What's up, guys? It is Chris Chavez here with Phandroid. Now today we're going to be talking about all the biggest and craziest news that happened this past week, and there has been just a ton of crazy stuff happening. Lots of stuff to cover, so I'm just going to get right into it. Probably the biggest news of the week is the fact that Google just bought Motorola Mobility for $12.5 billion. The deal technically isn't all the way through or whatever, but they did announce that, both parties agreed to it. And Sanjay Jha, or whatever his name is, actually showed up to Google headquarters, and they celebrated by playing a quick session of ping-pong, which is very strange, but very normal for Google, I guess. Now, of course, this sent huge waves throughout the entire tech community. People are just freaking out. Some people are happy about it. Some people, of course, aren't too excited about it. Namely, Nokia's CEO. He had a lot of weird things to say. He was trying to warn some of Android's partners like Sony Ericsson and all of them, seeing how Google now owns Motorola. Does this mean, all their attention is going to be focused there and stuff? So he was basically just being a big D-bag altogether. Apparently HTC, Sony Ericsson, and Samsung and LG, they all expressed their approval with the decision with a really eerie kind of uniform statement all across the board. But I could definitely see how this probably is going to cause some concern amongst them. Now, Google did let us know that this does not mean that Motorola is a shoo-in for the next Nexus 3. Or Nexus Prime, as people are calling it. Google did mention that they're going to go through the same process as they always do in choosing a manufacturer, choosing a carrier, and choosing a chipset for the next Nexus device. So they did say Motorola isn't a shoo-in for that. They also mentioned that Motorola Mobility will be a completely separate entity, and still everything just functions as normal. It just so happens that Google owns them. Still too early to say what's going to happen. The deal doesn't go through for another couple of months and stuff, so we really won't know anything till next year. Another huge announcement is HP has announced that they're getting completely out of the hardware business. So no more computers, no more phones, no more tablets. Apparently the tablets and phones have not been selling well at all. And this kind of leaves WebOS up in the air. Nobody really knows what's going to happen to it. It actually does kind of suck because WebOS had some pretty awesome things about it. Now they're talking about they might license it to someone else. They might actually just make it open software, which I think would be really cool. But as it stands right now, there is a huge frenzy seeing how HP has dropped the price of their tablets, which are about so-so. They're not too bad at all. Dropped the price to $99, and people are freaking out trying to get them wherever they can at Office Max or Best Buy or whatever. But right now they're only going to be available on HP's website for $99, and that's a good deal. Verizon Samsung Galaxy S2 showed up in some leaked pictures. It's going to be called the Samsung Celox or Clelox, something. It sounds like a Pokemon. And the pictures did reveal that it is going to be a 4G LTE device, so check those out in the link below. Minecraft Pocket is available in the Android market. Yeah! But it's only for the Xperia Play. Huh? Yeah, it kind of sucks. Let's hope they open it up to the rest of the Android market and all the other devices soon. So there was a new type of malware that kind of crept in to some people's devices. It came from a knockoff version of the dogfighting app. I wrote a little post on it on Phandroid, and it just created all this huge controversy. Mainly because what it does is, instead of you going to some illegal black market website and trying to download the paid app for free, what you end up downloading is a PETA version of the app, and once downloaded, it sends out text messages to every single person in your contacts saying that you like to hurt small animals, and it just sounds funny to me. Normally I'm against malware, but in this case I think the app is kind of whatever. I don't really like the fact that it promotes dogfighting and stuff. Whatever. It's a game. I know. Cool. But the thing that really pisses me off is that, or I think that it's really funny, is the fact that these people went on to some illegal website trying to download paid apps for free, and they contracted this malware that sends everybody a text message. Oh, and it signs you up for PETA's text messaging service, which I think is just hilarious. Yeah. Don't steal apps, kids. Apparently, Asus, or Asus, or Asus, as I like to call it, they're coming out with a new transformer sometime in the fall. Word on the street is it's going to be packing NVIDIA's new Cal-Al processor, which is like a quad core, and it basically can deliver like PS3 graphics in the tablet form. So it's supposed to be blazing fast and blazing awesome and just blazing. It's going to be cool. Ooh, here's a good one. Apparently Samsung leaked a roadmap revealing all kinds of devices and specs for all their upcoming devices for the rest of the year. And then Samsung, some of them were just so weird and quirky, just didn't really sound right, but I don't know, it's future. Samsung uses alien technology, I don't know. Samsung actually, and they don't do this very often, but they went onto their official blog and they completely denied that all these devices are true. They just said there's so many false things coming out and this stuff isn't true at all. And then about a couple days later, another leak presents itself, this time giving almost release dates or expected launch dates for these devices. One of them being a Samsung device that is going to be packing a 4.5-inch screen. It's supposed to be 720p, 1280 by 720 resolution, which is just insane. And AMOLED, and here's the kicker, it's supposed to be running the next version of Android, which is Ice Cream Sandwich. We still don't know what version it is, but Ice Cream Sandwich. So immediately that leads you to think, if it's coming out with Ice Cream Sandwich, and Ice Cream Sandwich is going to be debuted this year on the next Nexus device, holy crap, that's the next Nexus! I don't know. We don't really know what's going on there. The leak showed it for a week 48 release, which is like late October, early December, and that's right around the time that the next Nexus is supposed to be coming out. So I'd say this just might be the Nexus 3 or Nexus Prime. Nobody knows for sure. We won't know until more leaks come out and stuff, but yeah, kind of neat. Also weird that they would choose the Nexus, Samsung for the Nexus S, and then Samsung again for the Nexus 3 twice in a row. But maybe Motorola and LG and HTC just weren't really showing them cool enough stuff. I don't know. Samsung and HTC also announced they're going to be showing off or announcing something big in Berlin, Germany. It's for IFA. It's like this huge cell phone thing over there. And nobody knows what it's going to be. Like, some people are saying Samsung's going to show off the Galaxy S3 and HTC is going to show off the new like HTC Vigor or Ruby or Holiday. Two devices that I actually did get my hands on. And more leaks on the Motorola Droid Bionic. We now know the price and the 2-year price. It's going to be $299 is the minimum advertised price that you're allowed to sell it for, and then it's going to be $587 without a 2-year agreement. So full price $587, $299, and that's just kind of typical of like the premium Android device or handset on Verizon. So no real surprises there. A lot of people were hoping for $250, but didn't think so. And more Motorola Droid news. The Droid HD was actually pictured, and that's a device that's going to have a 720p screen. Not much else is known about it. We just know what it looks like, so make sure you hit up the links at the bottom and take a look at it. More pics of the Samsung Hercules were released or leaked online. This time it's the Telus version, which is like a carrier in Canada. I don't really know what goes on up there. But the device basically looks like a cross between a Nexus S. It has the speaker grill from the Nexus S. The shape is kind of like a Nexus S, but the back looks like a Samsung infused, and the dimensions are kind of bigger. So it's like a 4.5-inch screen. It's basically the Samsung Galaxy S2, but for Telus, and it's also going to be the T-Mobile over here in the States. So yeah, you guys might want to check out those pics. HTC released some updates, the 2.3.4 update for the Sensation and Evo 3D. So if you have those devices, just go into your settings, check for updates, and update your phone because it fixes all kinds of bugs. These are probably like some of HTC's buggiest phones right now, and it fixed a ton of issues that those phones have been having. So definitely update, and don't forget to update your profiles on the Evo 3D, the PRL. There's talks that Sprint could buy Clearwire, the guys that provide their 4G service right now, for $600 million. And I'm all for it. Anything that will help roll out 4G 2 more places than that Chick-fil-A down the street. I think that's the only place I get 4G around here, which is kind of weird, but they have great chicken. Ooh, I like this one, seeing how I'm on Sprint. It's been pretty much officially announced that the Sprint version of the Samsung Galaxy S2 is going to be called the Samsung Epic Touch 4G. Now, it was originally rumored that it was going to be called the Epic 4G Touch, kind of like the sequel to the Epic 4G, but I guess Sprint or whoever didn't feel like that sounded fun enough. So now it's the Epic Touch, which is just weird to me. And the release date was also leaked, so September 9th, you guys might be able to get Galaxy S2, and this will be the very first Galaxy S2 here in the States, and it's all on Sprint. Alright, so that's pretty much it for my weekend wrap-up. Don't forget to hit up the crotch bar, down bar, whatever they call it, the thing down there, for all the links and everything to all the articles that we talked about here today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you next time.